Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, misery bots of all ages, back again with another video. This time, I'm talking about should NetherRealm put a streamer mode in Mortal Kombat. Before I get into the video, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into the video. Now, what I mean by NetherRealm adding some sort of streamer mode is basically adding some sort of censorship mode within their Mortal Kombat games, whether they want to retroactively do it to some of the Mortal Kombat games that are out, or for their newer Mortal Kombat game, whenever that may be. To add some sort of options where you go into like the options settings or whatever and be able to turn on like streamer mode or censor mode or something like that to completely eliminate any like blood or gore or x-rays or fatal blows or fatalities or brutalities or whatever. It completely eliminates all of that, and it's just the core fighting in the game. Reason being, and it won't be too much of a stretch because I believe they did it with the first Mortal Kombat game where you actually had to enter a code to put in the blood mode or whatever for Sega. Now, I'm not asking them to go that far. I'm not asking them to change or take out the gore at all. I want them to have the gore. That's what makes Mortal Kombat Mortal Kombat. Have the gore, the fatalities, the brutalities, all of that good stuff. But for the people who don't want to see any of that stuff, or for the people who want to stream Mortal Kombat, because as it is right now, streaming Mortal Kombat is very dangerous. Not very dangerous, but relatively dangerous in the fact that you risk the chances of your streams or videos getting demonetized because of the gore and violence within Mortal Kombat. A lot of the times, these streamers take the liberty of censoring that stuff themselves. They will do things like block out or change the color palette for any like crushing blows or fatalities and stuff like that. Or they'll just completely like block out the fatalities or crushing blows or anything that they think would get them demonetized. On top of that, we got to take into the fact that that gore and stuff like that is the reason why Mortal Kombat is limited to an adult audience. By eliminating that or putting a mode in there that completely takes away that stuff, that gore and brutality, you'll then be able to stream Mortal Kombat to a wider audience, to a younger audience. Not only that, you'll also be able to stream it to other countries. There are countries that basically ban Mortal Kombat because of its gore and brutality. But by adding some sort of streamer mode or censorship mode, whenever somebody streams Mortal Kombat, they'll then be able to stream to those countries that would otherwise ban Mortal Kombat, expanding the viewership so much more. As it stands, the most popular, one of the most popular gaming franchises out, and one of the most popular fighting games out, is limited to an adult audience, mainly in like the United States area or North America area or the Americas area, and like England or Britain. So it's popular, but it's still streaming to a relatively limited audience, whereas its competitors are streaming to a wider audience. So even though other fighting games don't sell as much as Mortal Kombat, they tend to stream to a wider audience of people because they are able to stream to a younger audience. They're also able to stream to other countries that otherwise censor gore and brutality. So I think NetherRealm should strongly consider some sort of censorship within the options where it'll eliminate the blood and gore. Now, how they go about implementing it is going to be weird because I don't want them to take out the blood and gore. So, for example, if I'm playing Mortal Kombat and I don't have that censor mode on or that streamer mode on, I want to be able to still see the blood and gore, even if the person I'm fighting does have that streamer mode or censor mode on. It's just they don't see the blood and gore and fatalities and stuff like that. I don't know if NetherRealm can do something like that, but I think something like that would be big for Mortal Kombat because it will not compromise the integrity of the franchise. The people who want to see that gore and want to be part of that brutality, sure. But at the other hand, the people who want to stream Mortal Kombat and want to make content on Mortal Kombat, they can have their cake and eat it too. If that's asking for too much, maybe have a separate game mode for it. Maybe have like a censorship game mode. I don't know how they would do that, but I know Mortal Kombat has like the Combat League. You might be able to have like a second Combat League where it's like a censored Combat League or streamer mode Combat League where when anybody who's playing on that particular Combat League mode isn't playing with blood or gore or something like that. So, and with that, maybe maybe a younger audience would actually be able to get into the game. You feel me? Whereas they're limited to, and I don't know if it could be like some sort of parental censorship thing where a parent can buy them like a Mortal Kombat game and put the censorship mode on, and they can only play that particular combat league, which is the streamer mode combat league or whatever. This way, they're playing with other people, and yes, they're getting being able to experience the great fighting that Mortal Kombat games have, but not see the blood and gore. I'm pretty sure like adults with kids of their own who want their kids to get into Mortal Kombat games or just play a Mortal Kombat game will be cool with that if there's some sort of mode like that. So I think Mortal Kombat or just NetherRealm should really consider some sort of streamer mode or censorship mode. Now, how they will implement it, I don't know. I mean, one of the things I think about too is like, at least in Mortal Kombat 11, they have an option there for tournament mode. It's like a tournament mode one. Maybe something like that could be censored because most Mortal Kombat games that are on tournaments are using that tournament mode for obvious reasons. It's specifically there for when Mortal Kombat is at tournaments, but they're most likely streaming Mortal Kombat. They're most likely streaming Mortal Kombat. So the fact that they don't want to run the risk of demonetization as well as being able to stream it to a wider audience, because that's what they're streaming for. They want that audience to be able to stream it to a wider audience. They can add that to maybe the tournament modes of Mortal Kombat. This way, any people who want to do tournaments, whether it be Evo or Final Combat or any of that stuff, they can go into that tournament mode. They can turn on the streamer mode, and then they can be able to enjoy the great fighting competition that is Mortal Kombat without having to worry about getting demonetized due to the brutality and the gore and stuff like that. I was just spitballing. I was just thinking, like, yo, how can one of the most popular games out just, even though it gets good viewership, how is their viewership still paling in comparison to their competitors? And it's because, like, well, it's only streaming to an adult audience, a male audience, not a male audience, but an adult audience, a more mature audience. They can't really stream to a younger audience. And in fact, when you upload videos on Mortal Kombat, it gives you the options, especially on YouTube. Like, is this kid friendly or something like that? If you put no, then they immediately limit who is going to be able to view that video. Whereas if they put the censorship mode or the streamer mode, then yes, you can now add, yes, you can stream this to kids. And it then immediately increases the viewership. And on top of that, other countries. Like, there are literally countries that ban Mortal Kombat, so because of the gore and brutality. So I was just thinking about it. It's one thing that I think that everyone can do to really, really get the franchise out there and grow it even bigger than it actually is. So if you agree with this, like, share, subscribe. Leave it in the comments below what you think about this. If you were able to implement something like that, how would you go about implementing it? Leave it in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Remember, your life is a fantasy.